that was moved to that position without any kind of medical need. So I thought that was kind of entrusting me with a big responsibility for my last 2 years that I was there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Another one from that, this is my hustle story. So 6 months before I was going to get out, I was close to being kicked out of the Marines for weight problems. So it was something that I'd struggled with for all 3.5 years. I was right on the barrier of what it meant to be a fat Marine, which back then was like 203 pounds at 5'11", which I laugh at now. It's hilarious that I was ever that small. But I was always on that barrier, and 6 months before I was set to get out, we got a new gunnery sergeant in charge of the weight control population, so any of the Marines that were like that, and he was very serious about it, and they started separating Marines. And this is a good hustle story, but it's also a dangerous hustle story. I started taking hydroxycut, eating like turkey breast and lettuce and rice, basically, was all I was eating. And I ran 6 miles in the morning and 6 miles in the afternoon.
That's what did it to you. That's why you hate
Why
running.
I hate running? Yeah.
It's just, it's
triggers that in my
yeah.
head. Oh, I've said that before in other places. The Marines equal running, basically.
Yeah.
So I did that. I think I dropped 10 pounds in a week and a half.
Goodness. That is crazy.
Or something like that. 7 or 10 pounds in
Yeah.
a week and a half, 2 weeks. Met my requirements, got off of the program, got promoted to corporal in my last 5 months that I was there. So promoted to corporal basically was because I was on this program. I needed a different physical fitness test score to get promoted. But by dropping the weight, the barrier for me dropped, and I was able to get it with the existing physical fitness tests that I had. I was now above the barrier, and I could get promoted.
Gotcha.
So that was one of those other buckle down. Like I was not in the Marines 3.5 years to get kicked out in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
When the end was so close. That was not the way I wanted to go out.
Right.
So it was time to hustle and fix it.
Yeah.
So I did, and I got out honorable discharge, like everybody else, and wasn't kicked out. I did have 1 or 2 friends that were actually kicked out, like
Really?
3 or 4 months before they were supposed to get out. So
That's
yeah. So running 12 miles a day, not fun, but doable.
did the trick.
Yeah. And the thing about the hydroxycut, the reason it was dangerous is I was sitting at my desk one day, middle of the morning, like 10 o'clock or something, and somebody came in and they're like, "You feeling all right? You don't look too good." So I went into the bathroom, and my face was all red, and my heart was racing and everything, and I like felt my heart beat.
Jeez.
And it was like over 100 beats per minute at resting heart rate. Because hydroxycut is basically just
Speed.
caffeine.
Okay, caffeine.
Yeah, it's caffeine, and that's what it does, is it gets your heart racing so that you can burn fat while you're resting.
Right. Goodness.
So I dropped that, but it did the trick, right?
Oh,
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Short-term fat loss.
Yeah. We all know.
Health be damned.
Yeah.
At least I did it.
We all know the best way to get rich quick is do it quickly. You know.
Yep.
No.
So those are my Marine Corps hustle stories.
Okay. Well, I talked about this one before. Working at Taco Bell the second time.
Yeah.
Getting an extra like $300 to $500 a month really boosted our debt snowball. And I did that for a year, 2 nights a week.
A year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And just hanging out with like teenagers. It was just annoying. I'm like, I felt, I mean, I was a dad at the time, but I just wanted to like flip the lid and be like, guys, we're here to work. Like, how much more of a dad statement is that? Like, they're all just in the back playing around. I'm like, guys, there's customers up front. And I wasn't even a manager. I'm just like, they're looking at me. Help them, you know.
You're the old guy, man.
Yeah. So already I left a bad taste in people's mouths, you know.
And that had nothing to do with the tacos.
Nope.
Yeah, for me it was Domino's and that was great because it was tips, and it was the first time I'd ever worked for tips before, so that was interesting experience.
Yeah.
I was clearing the 2 months that I was working 5 nights a week, which was so bad. 5 nights a week.
Hustled.
Those 2 months I cleared $1,000 each per month doing that.
Yeah.
And I went down to 2 or 3 nights a week for the remaining 3 months that I was there. But yeah, it was the same thing. It was like, I feel so old,
Yeah.
and I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
And you guys are just being idiots
Yeah.
and keeping me from that reason.
Right.
And this is not my life. And you guys are acting like this is it
Forever.
for you for
Yeah.
the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'm gonna be here for 20 years.
But that was cool because at the time, I think I was listening to Tribes
Okay.
or something else. There were 1 or 2 books that I was listening to, audio, on CD. And that was a good time, those 5 months, to, listen to that,
Yeah.
the 30 or 40 minutes that I might be in the car back and forth.
Yeah.
So that was hard work. I do not want to go back to that ever again. I think that's what worked for both of us on that too.
Yeah.
It's like we're never going to let ourselves work fast food
Good
again.
fast food, no.
It wasn't the customers, it wasn't the delivering pizzas that stunk. Some of the customers stunk. The one that asked me for change in coins when I delivered their pizza.
Oh, jeez.
Because most of them were just round, and you'd assume that. But this one wanted me to go to my car and find 32 cents or something like that and give it to him. But it was the nights afterwards, when it was slow and there was nothing going on, or it's like we've closed and it's now going to take us an hour and a half to clean everything.
Yeah. Did you ever get into making the pizzas?
Yeah.
And helping?
Yeah, we would always make the pizzas.
Oh, okay.
Everybody at Domino's was on the line, even if you're a delivery driver.
Okay, gotcha.
And so once a pizza was done, then you'd go deliver it. Unless it was so busy that you'd walk in and there'd be another pizza that should have
Okay.
already left the door. So,
Okay.
but then it was usually like a manager and an assistant manager who were not drivers at all, but would just always be in the store. So, but everybody else was pretty much, they stock Domino's with drivers basically.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yep. Cool.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to that again.
Yeah.
This is just a small thing I did, and it was probably illegal.
Sold
went-
sperm
No.
to get out of debt.
Wait, that's legal.
Morally
Black
morally
market.
iffy.
No. When we went on vacation one year, I got this big cooler and put sodas and just drinks in it, and I would just tote it around the beach and say, "Hey guys, got a soda for $1," And I think it was illegal because it was like a private beach, so you weren't supposed to do that. I did it for like an hour, going up and down. Nobody bought anything because it just looked really weird.
Really?
Yeah. But I would
I
get.
think that would be awesome.
I know. I came right up to you. It was cold, But people.
How old were you?
I was probably 26. Yeah. So.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
I know. Some people would make like comments like they were like, "Oh, that's very enterprising."
But they didn't buy
They
anything?
didn't buy anything. I'm like, yeah.
Thank you for not buying anything,
So-
but the compliment.
Yeah. But it was kind of like a learning experience, like, because it got easier, because it was awkward going up to
Oh, yeah.
people. But after a while, I was just like, this is nothing. And I kind of thought about you when you did that to, like, the martial arts studios.
And that's
You're
my
just-
next story.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll let you tell it. You lived it.
Yeah, so that's my next one on here is 2 months into starting my own company, I'm trying to figure out who needs an accountant, who wants what I want to provide, and who will buy it. So in one day, I went into like 13 something martial arts studios in Charles County, walking into each one of them, asking them if they would talk to me and if they were interested in an accountant. So that was brutal.
I bet.
But yeah, just that same thing, facing rejection, figuring out your intro and what works and what needs to be changed,
Yeah.
what got shot down.
Yeah.
dealing with middlemen, like the ones that were really hard were the ones where they would just have, you wouldn't even talk to the owner. They would just have somebody cut you off at the very beginning.
Right.
So I got 2 people out of the 13 or 15 or so for me to come back to and talk to later, but no business ever came from it.
Oh.
So, but yeah, getting rejected by all but 2 sucked.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome crash course in figuring out what worked and just getting it over with.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting there and thinking, man, this would be really great. Everybody's going to want this. I learned in one day, this is not the way to go.
Yeah, that market wasn't into it.
I found out that there already are software products out there that don't just do accounting, but let you basically run your entire martial arts studio.
Oh, really?
So with dues and students and CRM and all that kind of stuff.
So they just plug in
bookkeeping into it. So,
well,
and the big studios, the ones that are profitable, are already plugged into something like that.
Right.
So it wasn't going anywhere for me. So
yeah, good learning.
Hadoken!